Howdy, Bart here, and welcome back. This is part 5, and as their names anything to do with what's going on here, it is absolutely way too quiet. There's no sound. There's nothing. There's no background. There's no sound effects. There's nothing. Also, kind of screwing around a little bit, added in what's going to be the basic format for starting the shooting portion of the game, and that's doing a line trace. As you can tell now that I added the view changer. When you switch into first person mode, then you're able to left click and shoot a laser, which is just the line trace. But what I've done is got it set up to where when it hits an object, it tells me what object that I actually hit. So that's a road crossing, that's a manhole, that's a school bus. Things are pretty obvious, but it just reports back what it's actually hitting, like road patch or crossing. Not the point of what we're doing here. I have taken the liberty to go ahead and add a bunch of sounds in here. The first one I'm going to do is whenever I do my line trace, this is the setup right here. I'm actually going to go ahead and move that a little bit so I got some more room to work with it. I got a lot of cleanup work to do on this blueprint for the player, but the one thing I want to do here is let's move you over here and then play sound at location, and the location that we want and sound that we want. Sound is going to be 9mm, and location we'll just get a reference to our mesh, and yeah, whatever. Just grab everything and just drag it on over. And we'll get world location just so we have a reference to where we're actually going, and quickly cover the line trace. Essentially, when we activate the left mouse button, I set it up this way instead of actually setting an actual control, because we may want to use the left mouse button for different things or whatever, So it's just going to get a reference to the mesh, and then get the world location of the mesh and play the sound of that location. We don't have any attenuation. We're not going to change the volume or anything like that. I mean, we could come in here and change the volume. Not worried about it right now. We're asking, can we shoot? And if the answer is yes, then we're going to go ahead and get the location of the FPS camera. We're going to get the world location and forward vector, do some math, and then line trace by channel. And we've got it set up for draw time of the little laser beam for 5 seconds. We're going to break the hit results, and then the hit actor, we're just going to print it off the text for right now. So now, whenever we go in here and we walk around, we need to put that in a different location. And I guess, yeah, that's a little on the freakishly loud side. So let's actually break that and break that. And let's move you out of the way, because that is just a little bit on the too loud side. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and change your volume down to 0.5, cut it in half. And then we're going to go ahead and grab you guys, link that back onto the pressed. Slide that over here, because we don't want it to work unless we can shoot and we're in that mode. So let's go ahead and drag that in here and off to the line trace. And then if we want, we can sort of neaten things up a little bit here. I mean, we actually could have just gone with get rid of this and get our world location. Let's also link it off to here. So we'll get the location of our FPS camera, which is going to be the same location where we are. And then let's drag our line trace over, break hit result, and then these two. These are both temporary items. So now let's try it. So we hit play, no soundy sound. Hit V, now we have a crosshair. It is just a cheesy little crosshair that I put together. It's just a vertical and horizontal shaped image. Now we actually have a sound every time we do it. Alright, that's lovely. But we need some sound in the background of this map. This map is absolutely just deader than yesterday's cat. So, sounds. Well, we don't want city sounds. A little too much city for me right there. So we'll start with starter music. We don't want that. Starter background cue. Alright, so I want the wave sound here of birds, and on this one we want to go ahead and change it to these are from the default stuff you get from the starter content. Wind 5 and 6, that's whatever. We did 5 and birds 5 and wind. Birds 1, wind 5, wind 6. That's lovely. So what we want to do is go to Blueprints and Open Level Blueprint, and we already have this. So let's go ahead and go with it's ambient outside. Starter background cue. Compile and save. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Thank you. Now when we go into it, we got birds chirping, a little bit of wind sound. It's a whole lot better than the nothing that we already had. So, awesome. That is the end to the main silence for this map. We'd have to do that for all 3 maps, or however many maps we choose to use. Stopped on the ATM for right now. I really need to get the save game up and functional before I worry about a working ATM. And some other basic functionality. It's like right now, the sky is really bright. It's daytime. What if I want to make it nighttime? What if I want to add some other ambience? I mean, you could do little things like walk over and say if there was a doorbell button, ring the doorbell and see if anybody's home, or what have you. I mean, there's all kind of stuff like that. And here's the thing also is, what do we want to do with this environment? I have an idea of what I want to do with everything, and you know, the main two, this one and the city map, they're kind of, you know, and I may even add sci-fi and the cowboy and, you know, the western pack and other packs as well. But for now, this is a quiet little peaceful town, kind of like the neighborhood that I live in for the most part, except for an idiot neighbor. Has no common sense whatsoever, and, you know, doesn't comprehend where he lives. But we won't get into that. I'll get off my damn soapbox. And damn old people get grumpy all the damn time. So, we've got all kind of different sounds that we can work with. I've got a bunch more that I just haven't added in yet. How about something I can look for later on? Let's do a quick sprint. And I still got to go back and rework the stamina system. What if you got close enough to the church and there were bells ringing? yeah, see, I've already tried to clear up this junk. I already got my nav mesh bounds set up, so could set up some NPCs to walk around town. I didn't import them from the other project, so but I have a lot more NPCs, a lot more characters to work with because of the fact that I'm using the city, the heist, the town, all three of them. The trouble is, for the most part, it's not a big issue, but if I choose to use the ones from Polygon Heist, they're set up a little bit different. If you look in the characters, you've only got the FBI character and the SWAT character. Well, two FBI, male and female, and SWAT characters. They are normal. And what I mean by normal is the like this one. It's set up, no hair and nothing on the back of their head. So you would actually have to go in and assign them a headpiece or hairpiece or whatever, and those are actually found in the items. So you've got like the eyebrows, the hair. You could also assign them to be wearing a mask if you want to, and the masks I'm going to kind of save for like add-on content some of you purchase from a store, because like the luchador mask or the paper bag or whatever, or the Donald Trump, you know, you can actually have those to where you could actually equip them whenever you want to, and they would be visible for other people to see that you're wearing it, like the clown, the construction mask and helmet, the hockey mask. I mean, there's quite a few of them in here. You can wear chicken head. I haven't tested all of them, but I know most of them fit pretty well on most of the characters, not just the heist ones. But since the majority of the heist characters are actually missing the back of their head, I'm not going to be using those. I will use the FBI characters and the SWAT guys. And the whole concept of working around with this being part of an MMO is the police officers, the standard police officers, would actually be NPC characters, and they would also be volunteers. But the FBI characters would actually be the staff, the moderators, in-game moderators inside the MMO. So they would have a physical character and be walking around, and they'd be able to handle trouble tickets or what have you later down the line. But the SWAT characters, I'm not sure how I would interact with the SWAT characters. Not sure if I would let them be specifically NPC based because of pathing and so forth. If you got an MMO and inside your environment you have one person that is being an absolute, well, prick, they're being a troll, and you need to deal with trolls, and if the moderators deem that somebody needs to be kicked out or they need to be dealt with, then the first thing that would happen is they would get marked, and the SWAT character would come from wherever its station is. It would go directly to that character. It doesn't matter where they go. They would be able to track them no matter where, and would go directly to them, and will be able to quote-unquote incarcerate them. So if you see the SWAT character walking around town heading down towards somewhere, then you know someone's about to get their butt kicked. They could just go out there and have a kill order and go out there and just kill the other player, or they could apprehend them and then put them in jail, or you know, other things like that. But I like the idea of, if you're going to have an MMO where you've got hundreds or thousands or 10,000 plus players, then you need to have some form of active moderators. And I think that if the moderators are actually dressed as the FBI characters, you see this walking down the street, you automatically know that that's going to be a moderator. So you look right at them, and there you go. So let's get back to some sounds here. That was the whole purpose of this. And let's see, I don't have all the ones that I wanted. I had some other miscellaneous sounds. Because when you're trying to set up an ambient situation, one of the things I'm going to do is I need to find the sounds for it and dig them up, is set up a sound cue at the church with I would say a good sound cue with the sound attenuation set to where if you're within a certain range, you're going to hear the church bells will chime at a certain interval. Might make it where it chimes a bell once per hour or whatever, you know. So that's a good thing. I don't have all the effects that I need. Let's quickly look through the visual effects and see what I've got. Particle effects. We got explosion, fire, gunshot, money, smoke, sparks. That's what I wanted. So if I look at the effects, you got a little sparking effect right there. So what if we actually came over here and this light was sparking? Now, one thing I just remembered, there's a tree missing from right here. All the other ones like that have a tree in them. But yet you've got that tree there, and that tree doesn't have one. I'm not worried about it. We'll come back to that later. Like say if we come over here and we're walking around, this one, we'll say this light right here is not working correctly. So let's look at the spark effect. So let's try rotating it down 90 degrees. And now we want to go ahead and line it up so that it's actually right where we need it to be. Then bring it up. So this light's actually, it's defective in sparking, and there's smoke coming off of it. So what we need now, since we have the particle effect, is we need the sound to go with it. And I just happen to have sparks. Get smoke. Oh, well, I got it broken. That's one. Fire sparks. I thought I had regular spark sounds. Short circuit. That's looping. So let's actually go ahead and do short circuit, create cue, and let's go ahead and set that to looping. And we want to override attenuation. We're going to leave it at that. We're going to leave this attenuation on it right now. To save, and now I can actually just grab that sound cue and just drag it right into the map. And let's actually walk in here and see what it sounds like. You know, just peaceful stroll, walking the beat. Alright, I can hear it from about right here. And it gets louder as I get closer to it. Then as we start walking away from it, the attenuation is going to allow it to fade off and to where I don't hear it anymore at all. So you can hear it like, well, what the hell is that? And, you know, start looking around for it until you finally actually see, oh, okay, there it is. So that's the kind of things that we can do here, is start creating these little effects around the map. Crow sounds or what have you. You know, can start adding in all that kind of ambience. Like say if you walk into the house and there's a radio playing, you want to hear that radio inside the house, but you only want to hear it inside that room or whatever. Or if somebody's having a party outside, you want to be able to have some music out here. So if there are people around the pool or way over here, there's actually a pool and a hot tub, and you can put people around here having party, dancing, that kind of stuff, and actually get a radio and set it out there and let that be playing some music. So that's another option you can do. Set your sound attenuation to where it only works within a certain radius, but let's go ahead and see if we have anything radio-wise. Alright, I'm going to go back to here. I'm not sure if there was anything in items or props for this. Just a walkie-talkie. Nope. Let's check props. Got computer screens, computer. No, nothing in here. So let's check town. Let's see if there's anything in the town. Meshes. And let's look at props. Let's see here. There's a lot of dang props. Air conditioner, barbecue grill, tub, bunk beds, lots of beds. I like that. When you're trying to set up your house, you want your houses to look unique and have different beds in each one. There's a cake. Everybody likes cake. Ceiling fan. Alright. We need to make a working ceiling fan. I made my own ceiling fan out of pieces parts from here and there, and I'm going to actually do that. I'll actually make a ceiling fan with a rotating blade and working light. Let's see, computer screen. Oh my god. So game consoles, 2 different types, 3 different types. Gas pumps. Which reminds me, the gas pumps that are at the gas station are a little bit too big. I need to rescale those. I didn't put them down there. We're going to blame Cynthia on that one. Laundry, microwave, mailbox, old school payphone. I like those even exist anymore, but cool. Outdoor oven. That's cool. Pool noodles. I'm not seeing a radio. Security lights. Could make those work if we want to. Sprinklers. There we go. Stereo and speakers. Actually got 2 different types of speakers here. So we'll actually start with that. Oh, they got a keg. Alright, but we need like a table to put it on. So let's see if we can find a table. And then we'll come back to the stereos. It's a workbench. Let's see how you look. I think that'll be good enough. And then let's put a stereo on top of there, rotate it around. We don't want it to be perfectly symmetrical. Let's put speaker here and here. And then let's go ahead and, just for the hell of it, let's take one of these tower speakers and let's put them out here on the deck. Hello. Put one there, and we'll put one over here. Just because. Now, music. And again, I am utilizing music that is royalty-free from techno acts. It's starting to get late now, so for music. So it just gets done saving. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Alright, so we'll go up here to music. I have not included any music in here yet. I'm just going to look through temporarily what I've got already here. I might already have one converted to WAV file. are a bit loud. That one's cool. Now I've got some stuff planned for like a spooky haunted house kind of vibe, and I've got some pretty cool stuff for that. Really like that one. But you'll have to wait for that one. Okay, I've already used that one in the sci-fi project. Use that one in another project. I like it, but not for this. No, I've used that one before for something else. Use that one for the Western demo. Alright, well this one's going to be good enough for now. All I'm going to do is, just to get the point across, I'm going to drag it in. And then I'm going to create a queue. Save all. Thank you very little. In that, we need to make sure that we have this set to looping. And on the output, I'm going to hit override attenuation so that it brings it up, so it's there. And that's going to be good enough. But let's turn down the volume to 0.5. Let's save it, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that cue into the map right here. Probably going to end up adjusting the sound cue, but it's actually pretty large because you can see the, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but the yellow line is all the way out here. So yeah, it's going to overlap onto the church and everything else, but let's go ahead and just see how it sounds. So as we're walking around, we can hear the birds chirping in the background. Then as we start getting closer to our short-circuiting street light, we can hear it doing its zapping noise. Probably going to shrink that one down a little bit. Ooh. Freezing up. Alright, you start hearing it now. What is that about? There is a serious collision issue. This is where this tool comes in. Look at there. It's impacting something right there. So that tells me there is a collision issue. This is my tattletale gun. See, that went all the way across there, but it's hitting something right there. So that tells me this has a bad collision that is coming across here and here. So it's blocking off part of the yard. So I can do that, and then open it up. And if I were to look at the collision, yeah, you can see how it just tapers around. The collision doesn't give you enough room to work with. So if we did a complex collision on it instead of simple, then it would actually give us more. So I'm going to change that one over. So let's head back over there again. I know it's crosstown, and I should have just right-clicked and said play from here. But you know what? It'll be okay. Oh, out of stamina. Let's run out of stamina again. Alright, I can hear it good. It's getting louder as I get closer. Alright, cool. It's not overwhelming, but it's just, you can see that they got a stereo there, and You can see that there's speakers all around this area, so yeah, kind of makes sense that you're going to hear the music. Then as soon as you get out of range from it, then the music goes away. So since we had that other issue there, let's can't get between there. Yeah, can't get close enough to that building. But can we walk through here? No. Where you see the red line is where it's traveling. Where the green line is where it's actually, you see the square, is that's where it's impacting something. So you can see that it's got the collision is right there. So the collision is wrong on this house. So my tattletale gun is good for checking these collisions. It's like I check this tree right here, it goes right underneath. In fact, if I do that, I can go all the way to, well, I've got the range set to 2,500, but we can see that that house is got a bad one. So we'll click on that, and that, and that, and to make it easier, we're just going to go ahead and select Use Complex. Now, let's be smart and play from here. Now we can get close to the house, and if we go into our tattletale mode, this tattletale gun is quite helpful for trying to find things like that. So see, it goes right to the garden shed, because this house has no collision. See, it's saying none until I actually hit a tree or garden shed. So this house has completely got no collision. We can walk right through it. So let's fix that one. Same thing, I click on the house, I click on the magnifying glass, and then double click on it, and then go for project default to use complex. I'm gonna have to make that as a mod, you know, the tattletale mod. Put it on the marketplace for $1. Oh, I see a broken one right there. See, it are broken. Well, it's not broken, it's just that it does not have a good collision box on it. So we're just going to change it to complex, be done with it, and hit play. So then we have the tattletale tool. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that on the marketplace. It is such a stupid little simple thing, but it's functional and usable. Like, there's a sign. You can see where the collision is on that truck, so you can't actually get inside the bed of it. Gas pumps, way too big, but the collisions work on them. And I turned off collisions on my food items here, so they don't physically have a collision on them. Cabinet door. Gas pump base, okay. Can't shoot through the car because it hits the car, even though there's nothing there. Oh, I love it, my tattletale tool. Now, let's see if I can actually get that approved on a damn marketplace. Alright, so what is it hitting here? Alright, the collision is bad on this house. So again, hit escape, click on the model, click on the magnifying glass, double click on it to open, project default, change that to use complex, and then hit save. And play again. So this is great. I like this little tool, and it's cool to be able to walk around town and check to see, oh, there's a broken collision there. So I'm going to save one. Yep, see, it goes all the way into the corner right now. Garden shed works. The house preset works. although it is not perfect. Bus. Nice little tattletale tool. Doors closed. Clip right through it. I've checked the clipping settings. Garage works just fine. How about the glass in there? Oh, yes. There's glass in the window. You shoot between... Yep, can shoot right between the hammers, so there's no collision issues on the store. So, tattletale tool is working very lovely. We have sound. We've got some ambient sound. We got the sound of a party going on over here. So the closer we get to it, the more we can hear it. Yay! Let's see, it's hitting there and there. And just kind of hoping that the pool, yeah, that's just water. Let's try no collision on that and play from here. Meh. Still standing on top of the water. Yeah, not a big deal. I could go in and fix that somewhere else. But alright, so that's a good start. We got sound effects. Yeah, it'll bug me about these buses. They're just a hair above ground. It tells me it's in the model itself. It actually needs to be lowered, but again, what I'll do later is I'm going to make these cars work where you can come over and hop in and drive, but I don't want to do that for a multiplayer environment. So what I can do is set up, like, snatch this truck, the garbage truck, the bus, this vehicle here, grab all these vehicles and check them. Let's actually look at the vehicles in the town pack. I have not looked at these all the way, but look at the vehicles themselves, and like the truck. The key thing that I need to look at is not that. I need to look at the physics asset and the skeleton. So it's got wheels and physics for the wheels. And the skeleton, let's look at the tree, glass, and four wheels. So, yep, I should be able to animate that one just fine. And then the convertible, yep, I should be able to make that one work as well. So we'll have working cars, but not only do we have the vehicles here, but we also have, and the city pack we have in the mesh folder, vehicles rigged. We've got ambulance, a police car, taxi, muscle car, a couple compact cars, and a four-door car. There's also some vehicles in the Polygon heist. However, I've not been able to fix the vehicles. The vehicle, for some reason, I cannot get these wheels and the physics and all to work correctly on the police car or the SWAT van. And the helicopter itself, in the rigging for it, the blade, undo, I don't want to change anything. The actual propeller is not socketed correctly. So if you look at the main rotor, unless it's been fixed, oh, looks like it's been fixed. At one point, the blade was actually in the wrong position. The blades in the back So you can actually rotate those correctly now. Yeah, the problem that I was having before with those is the blades just would not work. So if you put the helicopter in here, say if you create a blueprint for it, and I'm just going to create a temporary one, and yeah, I'll make a folder for temp, and we'll just call this the blueprint actor choppa. And we don't need player base open right now. And come down here, go to vehicles, grab that. Now I don't have an animation blueprint set up for it, so it's not going to be perfect. But what I wanted to do was, alright, come on, zoom out. And that's the thing, is to be able to get the rotors to spin correctly, I'm going to have to make an animation blueprint for it. And then, yeah, I'm not even going to bother with it right now. Too much effort for something I'm going to end up deleting. So I'll end up creating like a blueprint for it, and animation blueprint, and have it to where maybe the helicopter randomly will fly around the sky. You know, your police helicopter going by, but that's more for the city environment. I think for this, what I'm going to end up doing is creating my own town, because I don't really want to use the demonstration map. It's a beautiful map. I love it. It looks great, but I kind of want to have my own, because I don't want someone saying, oh, you just used a demonstration map. Well, duh. Well, that's the basics for getting sound in here anyway. That's mainly what I wanted to cover, was adding in. So when we start adding in weapons, and currently right now the only weapons that I've got available in here are going to be the ones that are in here, which I'll look at it in the weapons folder. You've got the AK-47, M4, you got a pump shotgun, a sniper rifle, a Glock, a 1911, you've got a holster, you've got M4 style carrying handle, you've got a red dot scope, you got a flashlight, a vertical grip, a silencer, and a sniper scope. So you've got some accessories. You got the bullets, so if you want like the ejection factor of it. The actual rigged weapons come with physics assets and skeletons, so you can actually they're rigged, so you could actually set up the animation blueprint for them as well. So when you fire, maybe you can have the weapon cycle, eject brass, things of that nature. I'm not so much worried about it, but what I'll probably end up doing is just taking like this. I'll go to the skeleton, and I'll create a bunch of sockets on there for like the scope, maybe a bipod, the silencer, flashlights, things like that. I will socket them to that, so that you can actually add those individual components to it separately. Like say if you've got the M4, you can add the silencer or take it off. You've got a submachine gun also, which is the HK MP5 PDW. The magazines are detachable, so you know if you go for a reload, you can set it up to where it, the hand movement actually takes the magazine out and puts another one in. So they're rigged. You can actually set up the animations for them and get them working. You'll have to create your own animation systems. I will have to check the vehicles again. The police car and the SWAT van and the helicopter, it looks like they might be fixed. So I will try animating those in a different project, because whenever you're doing it, you're going to have to add feature or content pack, and come in here and do like vehicle. And if you do that, you can actually import the, and I'm going to go ahead and add the project. I'll just cover this kind of quickly. So what I've done is I've added the vehicle blueprints, even though that's not where it is, it's in sedan. So if you were to look at the sedan right here, where was the animation blueprint for it? But you could actually come in here to this, and you can actually change out the model of the vehicle. And then in the vehicle movement, you come over here and you type in wheel, and you're going to end up changing this right here from wheel underscore front underscore left would become wheel underscore FL. Right here would be wheel underscore FR, and then wheel underscore RL, and then RR. Change the model over, and that's how that works. But there's also a animation blueprint somewhere. Mesh sedan right there, sedan animation blueprint. And the reason why you need to do that is so that you can actually come in and animate the wheels, wheel handler component right there, and that'll animate the actual wheels for it. So pretty cool. So for right now, we've got all these vehicles in the map. So let me just see if I can quickly temp, and let's go with blueprint. Cancel. No, let's actually take and go to the sedan, and I'm going to go ahead and copy that over to my temp folder, and I'm just going to call this truck. Now what I want to do here is go to the mesh, go to the viewport, and let's change the skeletal mesh. We want the truck. Truck 1. Nope, that's not it. Truck garbage, SWAT van, pickup. So let's grab that one, and we need to look again, and since we're using that truck, we need to look at not the high stuff, but Polygon Town, meshes, vehicles, and let's look at the skeleton here. And now you see that the vehicle pickup wheel FL, that's what we need to copy. So if we look at our truck here and we type in wheel, and it's actually in vehicle movement, sedan front wheel. So what we're going to have to do is find out how they call their front left. So on this one, it'd be FL. Wheel front left. Let me look at one other thing really quickly, and then I want to make sure that I'm getting this correctly here. I've got the skeleton open. Now I want to look at sedan skeleton. So wheel front left. Okay. So you see how they got SM underscore vehicle, VEH underscore pickup underscore, where this is just wheel front left. So we're going to have to copy all of this all the way down the line. So you can actually hit F2. Well, sometimes you can do F2. We'll try copying selected bone name, and paste. There we go. So that's front left. So we need front right. Copy selected bone names and paste. Now we need rear left. rear left. Copy selected bone names and paste, and then rear right, and that's it for the wheels. So copy selected bone names and paste. Next, we need to take a look at the animation blueprint. So let's take a look at the original one. And the event graph, nothing. Anim graph is just that. So look at the wheel handler, pretty much just nothing but that. That component of local. Okay, well let's because in this we've got vehicle movement. That's fine. We fixed that. So truck mesh animation class. We have no animation for it right now. So this is where we need to go ahead and, well, we'll just put it to there. And we'll retarget animation blueprint, duplicate, and it's not there. Okay. Because when we do this, we want to be able to just select that and then tell it where we want to go to. There is no, I know what we're looking at. Retargeting manager. There is no rig. So since there is no rig for this, we need a rig. So if we were to go to, let's see, create rig. So we've got skeletal mesh, vehicle base, front wheel, front left. We've got all that right there. And then select OK. And okay, created that as sedan skeletal rig. I am, just since I'm screwing around with this, I'm going to go to the vehicles, and I'm going to go ahead and copy that over to my temp folder, the skeleton, and we're just going to rename that to truck underscore skeleton. Go in here, go to sedan skeletal rig, and we need to go ahead and select, I guess pickup is the sedan skeletal mesh, vehicle base, sedan skeletal mesh, vehicle base. I don't know if that's going to be right or not. Wheel front left, right there. Wheel front right. Rear right. And rear left. So let's actually see if that frickin' works. I don't know. I don't think there is one there. And we're going to leave that like that. So let's save. Now let's see what happens when we try to retarget. There it is, and not a damn thing. So what happens if we tell this to use the sedan skeletal rig? Oh, I see. There's no preview mesh. Okay, no problem. Settle down, settle down. Let's go back to, that's also going to be a problem. Vehicle pickup 1. You know what? Let's just move that over there too. Copy. And we're going to call this F2. What the hell was that all about? Hit something and it tried to do all kind of shit. SK truck. Alright, so now we're going to assign skeleton truck skeleton. Yep, accept. So now save all. This is experimental. I haven't done this with these yet. It was easier whenever I set up the other cars. So let's just see here. Now let's see if I can retarget that. Truck skeleton. Okay, that's going to work. But the only thing I didn't do was go into the skeletal mesh. That's fine. I meant to go into the skeleton and apply to asset. Then save. It's after 1 o'clock in the morning. It's starting to get tired for once, which is unusual for me for this time in the morning. But it has been a long day. We're going to change the location it goes to. Assets, temp, okay. And change it from sedan to truck underscore and retarget. So now let's go to this and truck animation blueprint, compile and save. That should in theory have the tires working. So now if we go to our world settings here and change from player base to, I just called it truck, okay. And my animations are not working correctly, so I'll have to fiddle around with it. But hey, I'm driving the truck. The animation blueprints will, whenever I get those tweaked in just right, run into walls. Right now it's working, it'll be fine, but with the animations working correctly, then whenever you turn, you can actually see the wheels turn as well. So that's what I want to kind of get into is once I get the animation blueprint correct, then and matched up, I'll do another video just on that, and we'll have all the vehicles capable of being worked with. Because yeah, the steering is a little bit fussy anyway, but the steering, the wheels don't turn when you turn the steering wheel, so to speak. So that's something I'm going to have to address, and I will try to get that fixed and showcase that in an actual video for getting the cars to work. Yeah, the steering is really crap. That's not the fault of anything but Epic Games, actually. Alright, that's good enough. And I'm going to set this back to my player base. I am done fiddling for the night. I'll mess with this again tomorrow. And I want to thank you guys for stopping in and watching this if you did. And we'll see you around soon.